Today, after years of testing, I wanted to post this video about barefoot inspired shoes. Barefoot shoes don't make a lot of sense to me because you're putting something on your feet. The concept is a good one. It allows your feet to splay around, to be free, to have a lot of contact. So these are rather new. I've only been testing these for a couple months. These two I've been testing for years, this one for a month or so. What makes a good barefoot shoe? It's got a low profile. Fit, you don't want your toe all the way here if you can avoid it. And width, you want it nice and wide. Comfortable. Sometimes not having any shock absorbing material in the back, it can be hard on some surfaces. I've taken these rock climbing, in water, pretty much every environment, running them out in the snow to see how they would work. Durability. Is it going to last? This one, not sure. There's just not enough here. Versatility and style. Some of these you could take out in public. Others, you might only be able to wear it around the lake. Finally, cost. Where is the bang for the buck? You know what? I've been wearing barefoot inspired shoes for a long time. These are a pair of TEVAs. Went down the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon with these 30 years ago. These have been all over the United States. I've used them on major trips. 13 years working on these. I started wearing this style shoe, Topsiders or boat shoes, 40, 45 years ago. Not only for sailing, but for all sorts of use. I've seen people wear these in tuxedos or at formal gatherings. Some of these may not be appropriate. So we're going to go down the line here and talk about each one of these, and then we'll add up some points. I'll tell you what I think would be the best shoes for you to consider going forward. So let's go to a top-down shot, look into all the options and the trade-offs for these various barefoot inspired shoes. The first shoe we're going to talk about today is this. I can't even say the name, but there it is. I'll post all of these shoes down below or something like them. A couple things I like about the shoe. This part functions more like a sock. It has the flexibility. It has a nice tread on it. The sole itself is rather thick, okay, and it doesn't bend a lot this way, even though it does bend a lot this way. It's easy to slip on and off. It's got this nice little protective area. So if you have a tendency to prop your shoes up, this is going to protect it. This loop helps you put it on. I wish that loop was a little longer. This shoe I have no problems getting my finger in. This shoe, I gotta kind of force it. And it's hard to sometimes hold on to that and put your foot in. This shoe doesn't breathe as well. It's got an inside neoprene. It has a flat profile. I find it very comfortable. You can actually wear this one with socks. You could probably wear all of them with socks. Although it's a major faux pas in the boating community to wear Topsiders with socks. It just doesn't go over well. Nor socks with sandals, although I've seen people do that. So here's the ratings on this one. Width and fit, I took some points off because of the sweat. Durability, it's a 4, probably even a 5. It has a slipper look. Having this out in public, if you cared about that kind of thing, it might not appropriate in some scenarios. The cost is pretty good. I actually got this pair for $16, around $20 not on sale. So total points for this, 15. A medium price shoe of the ones I tested is around $40. So I would say that's an even shoe. Anything more than $40 is a pricier shoe. Anything under that gets a positive price. The next thing on the list is this lace-up version of this slipper shoe. They run about the same price, but this one will go on sale for $5 cheaper, where this one I've never seen for under $20. And it has the same profile, same amount of flexibility. It has this little area here, again, to prevent wear of the material when you're resting it up against something. One of the reasons why I even wear slippers in the house, we go barefoot most of the time. If you're like me, pinky toe will run into something occasionally, the leg of a chair or something like that, and it really hurts. This keeps your feet and your toes safe. And I like the fact that this tightens up because I can get more control over the foot here and still get the width and the flexibility and the space for my toes in the front of my foot. The rating was width and fit. It was a 5, even though they're identical. But the fact that you can't adjust this and it's kind of a little floppier than with the lacing gave that a 5. Since these both are made of very similar material and they have the neoprene-like inside, even though it will keep the shoe around for a lot longer than if it didn't have it, can be a sweaty shoe. Now you can counter that with a nice thin sock or something like that, and that's what I typically do when I wear these. Durability, these soles are made to last. The shoe in general has been fused very well up to the upper. A solidly made shoe. Runs about 20 and 17 in points and a plus for price because it's under the $40 average price for shoes like this. This is about the most minimal shoe I tested. Didn't really test it too long because I didn't really like how it felt on my foot. Zero support. Some purists would say, well then this is the most barefoot shoe you've got. I'm using Barefoot inspired. The minimal sole, the upper, it's fairly good. The fusion between the sole and the upper is good. I do like the elastic and the fact that you can lace it up and adjust the shock cord or the elastic. That's a definite plus. The inside of the shoe is minimal. If I was to go hiking in this shoe, okay, for a while, and if for some reason you got on a sharpened stick or something like that, it might go right through that shoe. So even though I might use this for some water sports, I think there's better options for water sports. Either a shoe like this or a shoe like this. I didn't wear these shoes very long, but I could tell pretty quickly that they weren't the shoes for me. And the fit is pretty good as far as this way and this way. A little too flimsy for my needs. I want a shoe that I can get out of a canoe or a kayak and run up a cliff side and not worry about slipping, which the grip is on this is pretty good, but the sole just doesn't give me enough and I'm a little nervous about something coming through the bottom. I really think these are more appropriate for water only. You went to some place that was far from water, the shoes would look kind of, what are you doing wearing these? Now they're kind of pricey. Bought them on sale for $29, but they usually run about $40. This was probably the lowest ranking shoe, even though it's $40, which is at the mean price. I would buy this shoe or this shoe way before I would buy this one. This one has a couple hundred miles on it. I've worn it out in town. I've worn it in all sorts of restaurants. This is plastic and it looks okay. The sole is fantastic. It's got bend on it and it does bend fairly well. It gives a low profile, which is what you're looking for. There's probably 2-3 times as much sole here to protect the bottom of your foot than there is on a shoe like this. I like this Velcro strap. So not only do you have the laces, but you have this Velcro strap that reinforces. It's a very comfortable shoe, and I feel like I could wear it almost anywhere. I've worn it out in the snow, in the desert, in water. It's just an overall good shoe. It cleans up well. It has the nice wider pull on the back to help slide this on and off. I'm kind of like a Gen Z kid when I wear these Barefoot inspired shoes. I don't like to undo or do the laces again. I do sometimes loosen up the Velcro so I can slide my foot in and out. Then the other thing is that I feel like I couldn't run in these shoes. I've run in these shoes. I've run in every kind of shoe except for this shoe. I guess I could run in it, but I feel like it's just flapping the surface. This is really going to give me a balance of grippiness and the nice barefoot kind of concept so that you're not too spongy like you would be on a regular athletic shoe, climb rocks, whatever it is. Just a great overall shoe. Well, as you can imagine, with all that positivity on this evaluation, width and fit is great. I gave it a 5 for comfort and stability, but it's a black sole. More on that later when I do the next shoe. Durability 5, versatility of 5. I've worn this shoe everywhere, restaurants, parties, things like that. It maxes out on points and the price. So half of what this shoe typically runs for so much more shoe. Now this shoe is a lot like this shoe. There are a couple key differences though. That elastic that I was talking about on the laces, that's on this shoe. It also has what they call a gum sole. You can see that there's a little bit of wear here. I got this actually at $40, but this is at $23. I guess you're paying a premium for the gum sole. The other thing I like about the elastic is it's got this little Velcro that kind of keep it in place. These two shoes have the same amount of miles, a couple hundred miles, and I've had them for about 3 years. And you can see the only difference in the tread is there's some indications because of this black detail here that's on the gumshoe that's not on this. But otherwise, the amount of wear on both those shoes and how well they clean up is comparable. The going rate on this shoe, $45. I actually got this shoe on sale for $40. If you were favoring these two shoes, you'd have to ask yourself, is the gum sole on these shoes worth it to you? I know a lot of folks that are purist on Barefoot may argue with me on this one, but if you look at the profile and you got a little stability here on the sides, as you can imagine for a boat shoe, because you're going to be on a deck that's moving around a lot, and so you do want that lateral stability more than anything. It does have the bendability that you would with any kind of Barefoot shoe. It's leather. This shoe, probably 7, 8 years old. My Topsiders over the years can run upwards to 10 years. You can see there's some wear on the inside, but the outside looks pretty good. I conditioned the leather. If you're interested in how to do that, I'll post a video up there and down below. This eye is kind of popping out a little bit, but take a pair of pliers and you can smash that down and you won't have to worry about that anymore. This shoe, you can take it anywhere. It's dressy enough that you can use it on virtually any kind of occasion. I've actually worn a suit in these shoes during a summer party or something like that. It gives you a nice little spread for your feet in all sorts of conditions. It's not as ideal for hiking as this. I'm not sure I want to get this too muddy all the time because it's a more expensive shoe and with the leather and this detail here. But this is an everywhere shoe. So it's durable, 9, maybe even 10 years, and the sole is barely touched. I like this detail that Sperry used to do on their shoes. I'm not sure they do this detail. I think they cut this off here and they just put leather there. That kind of functions what this piece does here. The thread on the sole bust out a little bit, but I've never had a problem with these popping off. Usually the upper around year 8 or 10 is the factor, nothing else on a shoe like this. I used to pay $25 to $40 for a boat shoe 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Now it's up to $85. You can get a cheaper, not a Sperry name shoe for probably half that price, which would bring it more into the even price range. But I really like the style on this. Sperry has always served me well. Dexter's another one, but I don't think you can even buy Dexter shoes anymore. You got a double on the price, and that's probably the thing that keeps this from being the ultimate winner and champion of this challenge. These sandals are 30 years old. I have explored the Grand Canyon, the tops, the bottoms, the sides, in the Colorado River. I've rafted down the Colorado River with these shoes. It has a nice little support here. Technology on TEVAs has come a long way. This sole is nearly indestructible. It gives you a lot of grip, and yet it wears really well. In fact, it doesn't wear out at all. It's a little stiff for a traditional Barefoot shoe. What do you see there? Shoe goo. At the 25-year point, the sole of the shoe, it started separating. So I shoe gooed that and it's been doing great. It's in place. The top part of the shoe is nearly indestructible. 30 years. Imagine getting 30 years out of any shoe. So it gives you a lot of the benefits of a Barefoot shoe. You can wear this under virtually any condition. It's also a fairly good shoe to wear around town. But do yourself a favor and don't look like a geek or an old person by wearing socks inside these sandals. The fit and width is good. The comfort is pretty good, but it is open toe. Under certain conditions, you can run your toes into things like rocks or pieces of wood or a log or whatever it is. So they're not completely safe, unlike all the other shoes that I've shown so far and the last one that I'm going to show. 19 points overall, comes in a little lower than a perfect score of 20. In the price, it is typically above $40 threshold for the average price of these various shoes. I gave it a single dollar sign as opposed to a double dollar sign for the Sperry's. This one really needs a bit of a mention. It's somewhere between a TEVA sandal and a Barefoot shoe like this. But I wanted to show this shoe because it's 13 years old. It's been in the Grand Canyon. It's been all over the United States, overseas, and it's done a lot for me. And you can see that it's kind of showing its age and its wear, although the tread still going strong. It's amazing. Synthetic leather, it's kind of peeling up. The other thing I wanted to point out, after 13 years, and this happened probably 3 months ago, started pulling out from the bottom. And I've had to hand sole this up a little bit, although it was functioning fine. It does have an insole that's pretty good. If you're a little nervous about a full flat on shoe with no arch support, but you want to kind of get close to a barefoot shoe, this would be a good option to consider. I can't find this shoe anymore. It's 13 years old, but I did post one down below that's pretty close to the design. And so it allows this shoe to dry a lot faster than a shoe like this. 5s across the board. You can wear this everywhere, and it runs around $38. So it's even on the price. Which do I think is the best bang for your buck? The best shoe overall. This shoe with the black sole. It's got the perfect tread, and the price point really kind of makes it win the day. If you wanted more of the gumshoe and you want to pay nearly twice as much, then that's a good option. Which is your favorite barefoot inspired shoes? Post your ideas and thoughts below. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in all sorts of tests of sports gear, making and breaking things, designs of all kinds, home repairs, I even do costumes, cosplay, and props. Check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what you're gonna see.